Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Shauna. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. How are y'all doing? I hope all is well. If you've been following along, then you know we are going in and out of the periodic table. We finally were able to get through the first fundamental 4 elements that are essential to 96% of living things here on Earth, which are hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen. Yes, the atmosphere is 78% nitrogen and not oxygen. Don't make the mistake of thinking that, okay? All right, now, before we move forward, as I have been stating, I'm not sure if this is your first time. I'm not sure what's going on. Disclaimer, for today and tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about some things that are about how dark we can be and about how sex and pedophilia and molestation and things like that can affect us spiritually. So if that's touchy for you, you might want to click off. If you don't believe in God, if you, think I'm making this stuff up, this might not be the place for you. Or if it is, maybe God sent you here to learn something, or we can just simply agree to disagree. Now, I watch tarot, right? I watch tarot readings. That's not a secret. I learn a lot about the spiritual world, but most of the time it's pretty much confirmation for the things that I hear, see, sense, smell, and understand about the unseen. And I'm not saying anyone is evil, so don't think that. Just follow me. In this spiritual war, the best ways to win is to put your trust and your faith in the Creator, right? He's going to equip you with whatever it is that you may need to prevail. Depending on what your mission is, what the journey is, and what your gifts are, that's all going to be connected, right? But I think it's imperative that we understand that within this war, we require a tad bit of darkness. Now, we've discussed how we can step into our higher and our lower selves, right? But what happens is when you begin to ascend and start getting in your soul's purpose, even your lower self begins to ascend, right? But what's going on is you are attached to darkness. Now, this darkness can be a spirit that has been sent to you, a spirit that has attached itself to you, or something that is directed or connected to you via the bloodline, right? And of course, these are all going to determine, how we respond and how we handle things. But if this is a bloodline thing, or even a spirit thing that has attached itself to you, but mainly a bloodline thing, then you need to understand that, yeah, light does drive out darkness, but fairies can't fight giants. In other words, you have to get in people's energies sometime, right? And not only does this ascension allow your lower self to ascend, it allows you to work on your shadow side. It allows you to gain a better understanding of your gifts and who you are in the spirit world. And it allows you to ensure that you are on the right path, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you are evil and you have the evil in you. But what happens is when you have these connections to these dark entities or these bad spirits, when it is connected to through the blood, sometimes your ancestors make an arrangement or a decree with the dark or the underworld. Okay, so we discussed the difference between ancestors and spirits and angels, right? Your ancestors are your blood. Your spirit guides are assigned, your spirits or spirit guides are assigned to you via the creator. I'm sorry, your angels are assigned to you via the creator and the universe, and then spirit guides are sent to you via the assignment. So let's just say if you and a person are best friends, and it is your best friend's job to be your accountant for your multi-billion company, right? The ancestors and angels of your best friend would be your spirit guides, right? They would make connections for you here in the 3D as well as in the 5D, right? But what happens when you have these ancestors that are not vibrating high enough and they're at the point when they're going to get cut out of the bloodline? They begin to make arrangements with the underworld. And what happens is sometimes those arrangements are actually protecting you because they have arrangements with someone that you are connected to via the blood, if that makes sense. Okay? Now, a lot of us may be like, I ain't got no evil people in my family. Bullshit. We all have dark things in our spirits and in our bloodlines that need to be eradicated and advanced and cleaned up before anyone in the bloodline is going to prevail. Or what will happen is the one that's prevailing is going to be broken off from the chain and have their own sequence created, and that bloodline won't inherit the benefits of that upgrade for that upgraded spirit. Okay, I hope you guys are following me. Now, the dark parts of the bloodline, what happens is these agreements and arrangements that are made in the underworld or with or I'm sorry, because I don't want to say it wrong, but let's just say earthbound, right? These entities that are earthbound or spirits that communicate, or they're like multi-dimensional beings. Yeah, let's just say that. Multi-dimensional beings. So that will cover the spirit world, the 3D, the 5D, and all of the other realms that these spirits journey through, right? These multi-dimensional beings will either attack you and cannot because of the arrangements made in the underworld or these other dimensions, or they will protect you because of the arrangements that have been made by your ancestor. Okay, so it's really important for you to understand that the darkness has to sometimes be fought with darkness. You can't always use your light to fight, right? Steel sharpens steel and iron sharpens iron, right? Sometimes you have to vibrationally match things in order for them to be handled or balanced out. And of course, if this is something that the Most High wants you to do, He will equip you with whatever it is He needs to make sure you have to fight the good fight, and everything else would be done on your behalf, right? Now, a lot of the times, and obviously this is for people who are in the upright, who are of the light, and they don't understand the spiritual battle in totality. Now, if you've advanced and matured spiritually, then you understand that there is a dark side that you have to dwell in. And if you practice spirituality in terms of fighting spiritual warfare, whether you're reading, you're speaking, you're praying, you're fasting, however it is that you're combating that, then you understand how to exercise your darker side. This doesn't mean that you are worshiping the devil. It doesn't mean that you are a demon or evil. It simply means that you understand that in order for balance to be achieved, you have to vibrationally match sometimes, okay? You have to vibrationally match these entities. And I don't mean you per se. I mean your spirit and your consciousness has to be aware and willing to be a warrior, right? Because when you're of the light, you operate in love, and you're vibing high, and you're just so conscious, and you're sweet, and you're just floating, right? But that warrior energy requires a little bit of hate, a little bit of animosity. So this is a lower vibration, right? And you have to be willing to combat that with your sword, aka your tongue, aka your faith, aka whatever it is that you use to wipe out, those lower energies. I mean, all of the sacred text talks about demons and, principalities and jinns and wickedness and a shaitan, right? This is not a secret. And if you don't believe me, then why are there laws, universal laws and spiritual laws that even protect people who practice dark arts? Because there is a particular balance that needs to be maintained, right? And when it's not maintained, it has to be restored and then maintained. No one is going to be able to continuously attack people who the Creator has set in place to do something in particular. And I'll give you one even better. The Creator lets this stuff happen to, one, show the chosen one or the anointed one or the blessed one or the whoever, right? To show you that you are indeed blessed, to show you that the Creator is indeed real, to show you that your gifts are indeed real and no, you are not insane. And it also allows you to exercise your gifts, to use your tools, to learn how to monopolize. And when I say monopolize, I mean spiritually benefit from attacks, how to combat them, when to draw, when to fight, when to put the sword down. Like, you'll learn that as you spiritually mature, but this all ties back to knowing that the darkness is there and knowing how to combat it and when to combat it in that particular fashion, right? None of us have an indeed understanding of the war until we are attacked and until our intelligence is paired with faith and the constant use of our gifts. That's the only way. Because anybody can tell you anything, right? And then you'll just be like, oh yeah, because it doesn't work like that. You're going to be under continuous attack. And everything is going to just seem like life until you reach a particular level that the Creator trusts you with certain information. I understand that there is a dark side of my spirit, and I also understand that there is a lot of dark energies that needs to be confronted and cast out, because we can pray this stuff away all the time, but if you don't pray for it to leave and never return, then you're going to be fighting this thing, right? You want new cycles to begin with the new babies that are being born in your bloodline, with the teenagers that are in your bloodline, with the elders. You want them to close out the cycles before they leave this realm. You want to close out cycles before you leave this realm. So, like I said, I'm sorry, if this is offensive, if you don't understand that we do have these dark lower sides, especially the ones who carry the light, that are connected to these bloodlines that have all these curses that need to be broken. These curses are dark. They're not of the light. These are spirits and entities and all types of energies that needs to be cast out. Okay? Eradicated, handled, removed, whatever word you prefer. Okay? But again, we're going to be talking about the effects of, sex too young and molestation and pedophilia and things like that. So I advise you not to listen in the next couple of days if that's going to bother you. Okay. But I am going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all have been taking care of yourselves. I hope y'all are drinking your water, eating your fruit and your vegetables, and minding y'all business. Okay. Sip your tea because it's free. And I hope y'all are, working out and getting y'all rest and just enjoying y'all summer vacation. You can email me at HughelyTashana@rocketmail.com. Again, that's Hughley Tashana@rocketmail.com to get a tutoring session. All right, I love y'all. Be safe out there.